Batgirls issue 18. We have Becca Cloonan and Michael Conrad writing with Robbie Rodriguez on the art. Last issue set up this story with the sniper, and they had that big graveyard scene and all that stuff. This issue, the Batgirl's investigating, and they're talking to Officer, is it Brooks, I want to say his name is? And he shows them the note that the police department got that says the Batgirls have to like be arrested and brought in, or I'm going to kill more people, kind of thing. And they're like, okay, we're looking into it, and they all leave the scene. There's a great few panels here, actually, of them all three of the Batgirls are in the panel together, and they all sort of grapple out together. It's just a really nice little beat.
Yes.
But Montoya gives them shit for talking to the Batgirls, and that this is going to cause more trouble. And she gives them shit duty to go and guard the crime scene, the sniper's nest. But basically, Batgirl or Oracle reaches out to Batman, and the younger Batgirls go and see Batman, and there's a nice little scene where he says he's proud of them, and they're getting gains from it. And basically, the advice he gives them is that, okay, you can't be seen doing anything as Batgirls because this killer will kill more people. So you're just going to have to go full ninja. You're going to have to not be seen when you're saving people. And it actually leads to this really great fun sequence where it's like a bank robbery, and Alyssa's there, and she calls for help, and you just like, it's this great sequence of like these two gunmen looking around, and they've got the ski masks on, and they're getting scared, and it's like a classic Batman scene, but just with a little bit more of a fun vibe where like they're getting cowardly scared, and the only thing you ever see of the Batgirls in the scene is like one silhouette of Cass sort of whooshing past at one point.
And it's almost like the only reason we get her shadow is because of the gun flash.
Yeah.
Right? It's really, really well handled.
Yeah, also Babs puts on a wig and goes to talk to Officer Brooks.
Yep. I hope that she has a name like Matches Malone. Right? I hope this is a character that we see of her more. So
I don't know what the lady version of Matches Malone would be.
I don't know either. That's why I said like Matches Malone and didn't give my own. But yeah. So but yeah, no, definitely that bank or the bank rob scene, you know, and then Alyssa ends up hitting one of the guys with the stanchion. So you know, definitely the Batgirls were there to help.
Is that what you call one of those things?
Yeah. It's a stanchion.
I never heard that before. I would have just said the barrier pole thing.
It's where the ropes go in between when they're trying to keep you out of something. Stanchion. If it's in between a door, it's called a mullion. These are things I know from my work.
I feel like ropes old school. I feel like most of them now, they have like almost like a seatbelt style thing.
It is.
Where it comes out, yeah. Yeah. Oh. This has been the Stanchion podcast, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
This is Matt Stanchion Minute.
You know, but there's a nice scene with Cass and Steph like bonding and saying that they learn from each other, because Steph's like, I'm not good at doing the ninja thing, like I'm not stealthy, and Cass like, no, like you did fine. She's like, I've learned from you, and she's like, I've learned from you what to talk too much. So there's a fun little beat between them. But then on the news it turns out and this seems to be something that Babs might have set up with like two girls have been arrested in Batgirl outfits. So Steph and Cass are watching like, wait a minute, they look just like us. Why what's happening? So it's an interesting little plot beat. Like, I'm really digging this. I think this is the best arc the book's had, and I've really enjoyed the last few arcs of this. So a good one to go out on, I suppose, at least. But we have the podcaster who's upset because our cameraman was one of the guys that was shot last issue by the sniper, and she basically does like a podcast in support of the Batgirls, and we see it sort of like we read the bubbles as we see, you know, Oracle with Alyssa, we see Cass buying some more books, Steph's with that new guy that might be a new boyfriend, and it feels like it's building up to the podcaster doing something drastic, because she's bought that gun last issue, we see her loading it, but instead she basically rallies like a parade for, or a march.
It's a protest.
For the Batgirls, basically saying free the Batgirls, like we're all Batgirls, and she's literally wearing a t-shirt with a target on it as if to like call out the sniper. So she's, you know, maybe a little off the deep end, but has seemingly good intentions, although she still has that shotgun though, which
Yeah, and I like that scene where it's going through all the characters, and she's doing stuff like in her podcast voice. I would take it of basically what the Batgirls mean to the Hill.
Yeah,
because over the course of the run, and then you even get one of those guys that they'd stop from selling guns, right? He's one of the biker dudes. As he's looking there, as she's loading the gun. That's where I thought, I was like, oh no, right? And then we get that also her in silhouette against a window. It feels like it's a different artist, with the blues and the red, or the blues and the orange.
Oh, I don't think that's her. That's the sniper, though.
Oh. Shoot, that's right. Because you're right.
That's a sniper because she has like a sawed-off shotgun.
That is.
Yeah,
I was reading too fast, but then it juxtaposes with that, with them loading the sniper loading. Well, the sniper's definitely a female, judging from the shape, because I thought it was Grace. So,
Matt's saying he thought the silhouette was sexy. Is what Matt's saying.
Maybe. I gotta come to terms with that on my own. It's no Poison Ivy, but come on.
No, it's a gorgeous page though. It has like the blues and the yellows.
But the art just really changes so much. That's why I thought it was her in silhouette. Like he was driving home the point that the artist and the writers were driving on the point that she's about to do something different, right? And then when you see that she's leading a protest wearing a target on her, it's completely different than her holding the gun. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's almost like it's building up to her maybe doing something bad, but then it seems like, oh, this is much healthier. This is much better.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, because that page with the sniper ends with her saying, to that piece of trash that hurt, Rocky, which is how I think you say his name because there's no C.
Yeah. Right.
It's R-O-K-Y. I'm assuming that's Rocky and not Rocky, but
right.
But it says, to the person who hurt my cameraman, we're coming for you, kind of thing. So. Yeah, honestly, it's a really good follow-up to... I think last issue I liked a bit more because the tension of all the sniper scenes was so good. But I think this issue, building up this idea that the local area have all come to love the Batgirls and are willing to step up for them, is kind of sweet and a nice little sort of... It does, even though it's been cut short to only 20 issues by the time it's done, I do think this feels like a nice end of run arc to do, because it's saying, hey, they've made a difference to all these people, they're coming out and supporting them. That's kind of nice. So I like that a lot, and them working with Officer Bruce, it feels like all the pieces that have been put into play are all being used in this final arc, which is nice. Honestly, this book's had such a good turnaround. That first arc was so messy and overstuffed, but everything after has been such a constant improvement. It's been great.
I really enjoyed this arc too, because it's showing that the Batgirls have made a difference in the neighborhood since they moved there.
Yeah.
Right. So it didn't just feel like something like in the meta sense of, oh, just give the Batgirls a book. It's like, well, no, now they have another piece. Like how when, Babs went to Burnside and it felt like she made a difference there.
It was like what we were saying last issue. I think we talked about how they all went into the bookstore's place for shelter when the sniper was hitting. And it was like, oh, we'll set this character up. It's not just a random place.
Right.
So just these little side characters that just make this, the supporting cast feel alive and feel like it's a real place. It's something that I love in a good comic book run, and something that, they've been doing better with in general at DC. I think this was something that was missing, sorely during the New 52. So, it's really good stuff. I liked it a lot. And Robin Rodriguez's art is really solid in the book.
Right.
I think the colors are especially great as well. So it's that thing where it's never been quite as good as that original artist that was on it, admittedly, but it's been a really solid, consistent art. Yeah, Jorge Corona.
Yeah,
that was the one. So, but really solid. All the Batgirls look great in their outfits, and so I really don't have that much to complain about. I think it's a great issue. Not quite as exciting as last issue, but a really good middle chapter to this. What I assume is a 4-issue arc, because we've got 2 issues left. So, all right, what are you giving Batgirls issue 18?
I'm going to give this an 8.
I think I agree with... I'll go 8.5. I'm really having a good time. I'll go 8.5.
There you go.